I'm Chris. This is Miller Plays. It's time for another rebuild. I've enjoyed the two that I've done. This one is going to be a little bit different. We're going to the Netherlands. We're going to try to get one of the top teams to win a European trophy, but more importantly, the Champions League. That's the aim. We've got 5 years to do it. We're not guaranteed to even win the league this year. Media prediction 5th. Who are we going to be taking on? Hopefully this answers it for you. So we're going to FC Twente. Right, a quick look around the club then. So club vision, work within the wage budget, strive to make progress on and off the field, qualify for the Europa League, become recognised as best of the rest. Marvellous. And then we'll worry about that bit in a moment. Let's quickly have a look at the squad. General... We'll go potential. So we've got Matt Rotz, who is has quite a lot of potential, but more importantly, Miles Hilgers appears to be one of our star men. 3.5 star, 4.5 star potential as a centre back, doesn't look at all bad. And Taylor Booth is another one, and he's an American right winger. So that's quite decent. Right, let's have a look at ability wise. Our goalkeeper, Lars Unnestal, is 32, so he's not going to last the save. So it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. We'll probably need the goalkeeper. We have Ramiz Zaruki as our ball winning defensive midfielder. So at the moment, it looks like a 4-3-3. He's on loan from Feyenoord. Is there anything? There's no optional future fees or anything like that. Taylor Booth we've seen, Miles Hilgers we've seen. We've got a left winger / striker. He's 34. He hasn't got the pace. He hasn't got a great deal of height. Not sure on that one. And then we've got some other players. This guy can play in central midfield, so we're happy with that. So that's Michel Vapp. We have another centre back. So we've got 2 centre backs, so that's always good. So we just need full backs now. And we're laughing. And then everything else isn't so good. We'll have a look at some of the other youngsters. We've got Mohamed Isakate as a winger. We've got Joey Antonoli, a midfielder. Bags of potential there. Then the next 2, 3.5 stars of potential. An Icelander is Christian Novki Hyensen. He's also probably a central midfielder, so that's not so bad. And a Turkish left winger. So we've got everything bar a left back, really, and a right back. So we just need full backs, he says, but Matt Ross can play as a left back. So as he's got bag of potential, it might be that we say Matt Ross becomes our left back. We'll force him in that position, and then we just need a right back. So, all in all, that doesn't look too bad. Right, I need to create a tactic, get a few bits and pieces done, and we'll be back in a mo. Okay, just delving into the history of Twente, and they've won the Eredivison once in 2010, was runner-up in 2011 and 2009, and have been third place in 2014 and 2024. They did have a little bit of success in the Europa League, where they finished runners-up in the UEFA Cup in 1975. But other than that, it's been barren trophy-wise. Their last trophy was 2011 when they finished runners-up and won the Dutch Cup. So it's not been a happy time for Twente, but we're going to turn that around. This year, we've got Eredivison and the Dutch Cup. So that's what we're going to be aiming for. The odds, Ajax are favourites. PSV second, or joint favourites. Feyenoord, AZ Alkmaar, and then ourselves. And it's pretty much similar for the media predictions. So the bookies and media are pretty much on song there, and have us as the top 5. So our job is to defy the odds and hopefully get in the top 2. Let's have a look at the rules. Champions League phase, the first 2, and then whoever comes third gets into the UEFA Champions League path, third qualifying. Fourth is Europa League, the league phase. Fifth is Europa League or European playoffs. And then you've got a number of European playoffs. Right, okay, so it looks like fifth down to eighth qualify and play for a playoff for the Europa League, I'm guessing. I'm not sure if there's anything available for the Conference League. All this competitions is what was a Dutch Cup. Rules. Yeah, final. Winners qualify for the Europa League phase. Who gets Conference League then? I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to here and check the other rules. Is there any convoluted? Right, so non-EU players, they have to have a minimum wage of 3,600. Non-EU players, 21 and over, 7,250. The same again, exactly the same, but 8,250. Minimum wage for full-time foreign non-EU players from the ages of 16 to 18 is 4,100. So something to bear in mind is basically you've got to pay a 16 to 18-year-old foreign non-EU player more than you do an older non-EU player. But by the time they hit 21, they need to be at 7,250. So you can get a 19 or a 20-year-old at 3,600. When they hit 21, they have to be at 7,250 or 8,250. Not sure what the differences are there. So they're as clear as mud. We got transfer windows. Doesn't show anything about squad size restrictions or anything like that. So it looks like we can just register who we want, where we want. We just have to make sure we're paying them. So with that, we have 151,000. So we've got best part of 50% of the wage budget available and almost 7 million. And hopefully I can clear out a couple of spaces. Right. That's us. That's Twente. I'll now go and do some jiggery pokery in the transfer market and see if we can come up with some kind of squad that is going to give us half a hope of getting into the Champions League next season. Right, here we go then. Our finances are pretty good. We've still got 9.8 million in the bank. We've got 4.4 million in transfer budget. Wage budget is 194,000. Sponsorship is poor at the moment. Projection doesn't look too good. And we are apparently debt free, but that says we've got 5.75. I suppose money in the bank, things like that, I'm guessing. Yeah. We've got more money in the bank than we have on the loan. That's why it's net debt. Okay, understand that. Right, transfer-wise then, we are in for a couple of players on loan. Hopefully my director of football says yes to those. Transfer history, and we've brought in a number of players. So the first man through the door was an Iranian right winger. He was 29 at the time. He's since clicked over to his 30th birthday. He's come in from Feyenoord. Had 5 goals last season. We'll see what he does. Then we got a backup goalkeeper, a young Frenchman, Stefan Bajic. He came in on the free. He was released by Bristol City. Next through was a loanee. Josh Wilson Embrand has come in from Manchester City, costing £700 a month, I think it is. So not a lot to worry about there, and it covers the left-back position. We've then signed Cameroonian Jerome Onguini. He's a 6'2" centre-back. He's there pretty much as cover. Jose Juan Macayas is our striker. He's a Mexican. He formerly played for Chivas. Another one on free transfer. We then brought in a youngster Bjorn Bergi Gunjansson. It was just a wild stab in the dark, see if he's any good. We'll find out. Ty Sean Van Gonta is a director of football purchase. He's a centre-back, right-back. We're playing him as a right-back, see if he does anything. And the last man in has been Nino Molinar, another director of football purchase. So he's just stocking up the under-18s. Out the door, we sold Max Bruns. He's gone out on loan to next division down, ADO Den Haag. And this guy, Lankroon, we've sold. Didn't look very promising, so 32,000. He's off the wage bill. And that is that. I think we've got another guy potentially going out, backup goalkeeper. So that's it. Things as it stands at the moment. We are just about to start the season. If we clock round, we have remained in fifth. No, we've gone up to fifth. We were previously sixth. We dropped on a seventh, but now we're back up. And our best player is Lars Annerstall. Right, there we have it. We'll now sim the season, and fingers crossed, we get into Europe. First season has completed, and we start off with the finances. So we've got almost 10 million in the bank. We've got a huge transfer budget of almost 15 million. Wage budget has gone up as well, so that is all good. We will jump into competitions, and look at that! Finished second to Feyenoord. Feyenoord were predicted to finish second. I don't know if that's good now then. And we're knocked out in the third round by Breda. Breda, who only just avoided relegation. So that isn't ideal. AZ got into the Conference League. I'm not sure how. How did AZ get into the Conference League then? Did they win the Dutch Cup? No. Have they won the Eredivison European playoff place? That could be why then. NEC Nijmegen, whatever they might be. They won the Dutch Cup, which is why they're in the Europa League. Right, okay, so we now know that 3 go into the Champions League. So we've managed to do that. So that's good in our first season. And 4th place looks like they get Europa League, no problem. The next 4 play off, and whoever wins the Dutch Cup gets a Europa League place. Right, that's all understood now. Okay, so let's just go to the league and see what it's all about. Feyenoord, who won it, were third favourites of 7-2. They did have Stengs, the best player in the league. Look at the stupid value on him. And Borges. Our best players are Booth. Interesting. Okay, Taylor Booth. Looks like he's done all right. And Zaruki. Did I sign him? No, I probably didn't. Right, okay, so that went well. Booth doesn't show up there. Zaroki doesn't show in there either, so I'm guessing our club colours don't feature in the Dream 11. Not good. Right, transfers then, and 20 million out. It's gone on. Oh dear. So we loaned out our potentially decent goalkeeper, and 3 days later we then sell our best goalkeeper. So he's gone for £12 million. So he's obviously hit one of the old potential add-ons, and there's another million that we could get. We also lined out Latef Lammers. Sam Lammers is a decent-ish. He's going to Uden, that's fine. Oh, they had a mandatory future fee. Ricky Wolf's Whistle, he's Winkle, sorry. Uh, yeah, he's a striker. And Wilt Luester has gone as well. And did we bring anyone in? We certainly, God, look at my director of football, certainly busy. Right. So they're the two guys I was getting them. Sorry, bro. We only got one of the guys in on loan, did we? It wasn't him, I'm sure. So I set the Myron Bodu as a midfielder as well. So that loan didn't go through. And then we've carried on getting young players by the looks of it. An absolutely garbage backup goalkeeper. Who else did we get? That was the guy in on loan. Westerveld, another youngster. So I'm guessing this is our goalkeeper that we brought in as a replacement. Another youngster and another youngster. Okay, so my director of football was basically brought in a garbage goalkeeper as a backup and another one as a backup. So we got two backup goalkeepers. Yeah, not ideal. Right. Let's have a look at selection info. Goals. Bodu did do well for us. He got 15 goals. Taylor Booth. Wow. 12 goals, 17 assists. He's done really well there. Michel Vlap was an attacking midfielder who could also play in central midfield. So we weren't using an attacking midfielder, so he must have been a central midfielder. And then nothing overly exciting there, but the average ratings don't look too bad. Taylor Booth was certainly our star. Yeah, okay. And if we have a look at general info, potential. This guy doesn't look too bad, does he? He's done all right. So we've got a superstar there. And then Gonta's come in. He was the guy who got to play right back. He played 28 times, 681. He's improved. Doesn't look too bad. So that kind of worked. And then, yeah, not a lot else to really write home about. Did I? It must have been Zaruki I signed on loan. There we go. Zaruki was the loanee. Okay, I understand now. Right. I'm not with it at all. Right. That's an awful big squad. So dynamics. We've got a couple of players. Rots wants to leave. He had 10 sub appearances. I don't blame you, mate. And Etting wants to leave. I'm more than happy to let Etting leave. Bye. And Bodu was concerned he's playing in a weak role. Well, team cohesion isn't great. Club atmosphere isn't great. Managerial support is not too bad, but we finished second, so that's a positive. We're in the Champions League. That's going to be a positive. I'll see if I can quickly spend some of this money before I assume budgets. The budgets have already been set, which is what we've got. Yeah, that's understandable. Okay, fair enough then. I'm going to try and spend some of this money. We're in the Champions League now, so fingers crossed we can get through and start earning some big bucks from that. Right, I'll see you at the end of the summer when hopefully I've got some shiny new players to show. Wow, that took far longer than I was anticipating. Rightio, overall balance not looking good. Transfer budget very low. It's my assistant manager basically dumped it all into wage budget. We are in for a player or two. He's decided he wants to get a backup goalie. It's actually happened. I didn't see it. He's rejected us. He's joining PSV. Damn. Right. Okay. There we go. That's not so good. Right. Onto transfers themselves. We probably did some back end, did we? Uh, first, first one was Denzo Cassius, a right back. Doesn't look too bad. He's come in from AZ for lots of pennies. Cal Sherpen is a goalkeeper, not too bad. He came in from Union Saint-Gilloise. Yusuke Ideuchi is a central midfielder. We're not playing them, so he's going to have to play in the defensive midfield. El Arouche is a midfielder who can play in behind, which is probably where he's going to end up. We did let some players go as well. As you can see, we let rather a lot of them go. So Jerome Ongwini, 1.7 million out. Bas Kuipers has gone out with a permanent deal. Tom Kerrison's another one gone out permanently. 150,000. Giham Pisecto, 160 right into 325. Ozark is just 10k tops. Bjorn Bogie Bjornsson has gone out for 90,000. AZ then bought Esakati and Robin Proper for a combined fee of 3.3 million. Sam Lammers joined Udine for 1.6, and Karel Etting went out to Heidenheim for 925. Then Venegorov Hesselink's younger brother, he's gone out for 195,000. 50% of any future sale comes our way. The Schulin, 1.5. Nasi Unavar has gone out to Man City for 6 million, rising to 10 and quarters, come back on loan. Michel Vlap contract was running out, so he's joined SH Port. Van Hornbach, 150,000. Cassius, the Mexican striker's gone for 1.6. Jahan Bakish joined Leicester for 2.9. Bart van Rooij, 1.6. The list just goes on and on. Mateus Gajole, 3.1. All in all, we've sold £24.5 million worth of players. So we've then brought in a 6'6" Dutch 19-year-old striker. Doesn't look too bad. Nicolas Gavory is a French left back. Unver came back on loan. Sissoko is probably the star man. Ball-winning defensive midfielder. Thank you very much. Yes. He's going to be partnered by Shotard, who is also a ball-winning defensive midfielder, but can play deep line playmaker. So he's probably going to play that. Charlie Cresswell is a young English centre-back, 6'3", come in, and fingers crossed he's going to play lots of games and get better. Junior Krupi is come in on loan. He replaces Vlap. Mauro Jr. is a left winger. He's loaned from PSV. He can also play left back, right midfield. He can play everywhere. So he's coming on loan, joining next summer. Axel Kayamoto is a young French right winger. We just needed some youngsters. So we also bought a Dutch Flamingo. So he's in and around the squad as well. So we've sold a lot, bought a lot, but plenty on the never. So we've got 14 million in transfer debt now. All in all, who knows? Certainly the bookies don't favour us. They've got us down in 5th again, 13-1. But Sissoko and Booth are right up there in the key players in the league. So they don't actually make the team there, though. So odd, but hey-ho, we'll take it. We'll now sim the season and see how we get on. Right, we're back, and finance-wise, 20 million in the bank. Transfer budget's not great, only 5.25. Wages gone up. Projection, all looking good. Sponsors, we did pick up another sponsor, a general. We're down to 9 million in transfer debt, which isn't too bad. But there we have it. That's the... Oh, that junior, yeah. That's the finances. Right, did we sell anyone? We sent a backup striker out on loan. probably former youth player. So he's gone out to Almere City, scored a couple of goals. We did bring in a couple of players, a loanee left winger, Felix Corriela. He had 6 goals, 2 assists, 7.04 in 13 plus 3. And we also brought in a young Dutch left back for the youth team. Okay. So we didn't do any transfers. Competition wise, yes. We were champions, and by quite a distance. Look. Utrecht and Dordrecht. Utrecht finished third, and the team that got relegated. So we lost to a team that got relegated. Yeah, that's not great, but certainly the 9-point gap, picking up the title is fantastic. So we have a look at the overview. We now have an Eredivison here. So that's a big plus. So we've moved in the right direction there. Let's have a look at the squad. Selection info. Goals. Just as I hoped, Zeefuik, our now 20-year-old Dutch striker. 22 league goals, 29 in total. He's progressed quite nicely. His value hasn't gone up as much as I'd hoped, but that's not too bad. Krupi had a decent season with us. He got better and better. 11 goals, 5 assists. So our former player that we've sent out to Man City, he's got 13 goals, 6 assists across the season, 7 and 3 in the league. Univer. Taylor Booth. Look at the assists. 22 league assists, 25 in total. What a man. Didn't get as many goals this year, but a lot more assists and player of the match, and his average rating went up. He doesn't look too bad now, does he? 2.1k a week. I think he might want a pay rise. Right. Charlie Cresswell. Disappointing. Didn't get any better. So, goals. Mies Higlers, our centre-back, got 9 goals. 7 from Hyansen. Oh, we got 17 assists from left-back. Nicholas Gabory came in, did quite well. 11 in the league. So all in all, that wasn't a bad effort. We got knocked out in the playoff round by Real Madrid. Did we have to... the knockout? Yeah. So we got 3 wins. We beat San Sebastian, Porto and Tremoso away. We got a point at home against Celtic. And we lost at Leipzig, Paris, Man City and AC Milan. So we definitely lost the 4 we should have lost to. Snuck in to the playoffs, so that would have given us a bit of a financial boost. So if we have a look at income, we should see that Champions League £29.5 million from the Champions League. That's nice. Last season we brought in 6 million. This season 36. So massive upgrade there. That's how good the Champions League is. So, and well, if we carry on dominating the Eredivision, which is what we're going to have to do, if we can win it again next year, there'll be a whole lot more cash coming in and enable us to just go out and buy that next level of player. But Zeefuik got the golden boot for the league. Taylor Booth with most assists. Zeefuik with 8 man of the matches, so he won that. Sherping got 19 clean sheets as well. So we didn't do too badly with the players as well. So I would say that was a successful season. And And obviously the board haven't given us a great deal, but because we spent so much last year, it's not surprising. But there we have it. I will now go off and do another summer transfer. Hopefully this time I can bring in quality players rather than quantity. We had to go through and rebuild the squad effectively. Hopefully this year we don't have to do that, and we can keep a number of the players that we've got. Right, as I said, I'll go and do that, and we'll see you just before the start of the season. Right, that was a very, very tough transfer window. We started pretty much, I clicked a couple of times. New board budgets started with a minus £5 million transfer budget. So we had to sell, there's actually 5,900,000. So we had to sell £6 million a player before we could actually get that down to zero to actually be able to bring anyone in. And that resulted in us spending an awful lot of, well, selling a number of players. Our transfer debt has now gone up, which is really going to please the board. We did bring in a new sponsorship. So the main kit sponsor, a 10-year deal at 2.6 million. So we've certainly, the stadium sponsor, look at that as well. So we've certainly brought in some income that way. Projection doesn't look too bad. It's now a case of staying in the Champions League. If we have a half decent run, another 20 odd million in Champions League money, that will just set us up nicely. Transfers then, this is going to be a long one. We'll start the players out. Tim van der Leijden went out on free. Van Breggen, a youngster, went out for 4.75. Gavroy, the left back last year, played really well, got lots of assists. We sold him for 1.9. Sissoko didn't really get a chance, so we sold him for 5.25. Rotz went out for 425. Ideguchi 3.4, so we almost lost money there. And then we sold our goalkeeper Kel Chirpin for 13 million. We just needed some sort of a kind of budget, and we've identified someone better. So we signed Marvin Keller, who is a top draw keeper. We also brought in a young midfielder, full of promise, Targalini. Mauro Jr. obviously signed from his permanent deal from the previous season. We'll go through the ins. We brought in a young Dutch all-rounder at the back, Liviano Comencia from Juventus. Mike Klein has come in from Chelsea on loan. We brought in a forward, Greek, Shalabos Kostalos from Brighton on loan. There was another loan down here as well. We'll show him. It's Amen Carey from Man City. We did try to bring in a number of centre-backs on loan, but that hasn't happened at the moment. We signed Lorenzo Colombo on a fairly cheap deal. He's a striker. There's my backup goalkeeper at the director of football signed. Maxim Decker is a young centre-back that looks full of promise. So we signed him for 12.5 million. That's where the instalments came from. We've then signed this young sort of midfielder, Asen Udrago, which reminds me I probably ought to put him in the side. And then Sibiri. So this is a director of football signing, a Moroccan. He can play through the middle. Just gives us a bit more cover. We also sold Christian Noki Heilsen, the Islander. Was never a mainstay, so getting 3.4 million for him. We've got someone out on loan. Axel Kayambo is a youngster. He went to Juve. Thomas van der Belt is somebody that I don't know. Did we sign him? Did he just appear? I think he's the one that just appeared, and I suddenly realised he was still around, so we sold him. Max Bruns is gone. And then another youngster goalkeeper gone. Balchik has gone out on loan, and Jort Ribbers has gone out on loan. So we've spent an awful lot of money this year. We did bring in a fair amount, balanced the books last year. So yeah, we're going to take a hit. We'll probably have a negative transfer budget. If we can just get one extra round in the transfer Champions League, perhaps 2 extra wins in the group, something like that, that will just be incredible and push our bank balance up and give us hopefully a chance in the future. Competitions wise, we are obviously in the Eredivision. We're in the Champions League in the group phase, so we're fine there. The Dutch Cup and the Johan Cruyff Schaal. We're playing FC Volendam in the season opener. So tactics wise, we're switching to a 5-2-1-2. 5-2-2-1-2. There we go. At the moment, I'm looking at Decker and Alrouche to come in. I'm thinking that we force, what's his name? This guy in as the Masala. That does mean that Taylor Booth, who doesn't want to be here, he wants to play with better players. I've tried to sell him. We're trying to get 35 million for him. That would change the strategy. Probably means he doesn't have a position to play. Can he actually play? He can play deep line playmaker, so perhaps we'll leave it like that. I just think this guy, he's 19, he's got bags of potential. I might have to take him out. Again, he's got, yeah, I'm going to take him out. We'll do it that way. That gives Taylor Booth, if he's still around, a chance to play there. So that's our formation. If we look at the Eredivision, the season preview, we can see we're third at 4-1, so that's our best ever. We've got the best goalkeeper in the league. Hilgers is in the team, Booth's in the team, and Colombo as well. So we've now got 4 players in the team. We've got the 2 best players in the country, so all looks quite promising there. So fingers crossed we can have another good league season, win the league again, get somewhere in the Champions League, bring in a big ton of cash, and actually have a wage budget and a transfer budget next summer, please. Right, we'll see you for that at the end of this. Well, see you at the end of the season and see what we've actually done. We're back. It's the end of the season. Our bank balance is a massive 35.5 million. Our transfer budget is 13.6. We've got loads of spare cash in wage budget. Looks like there's another continental competition and a TV. Oh no, that's just the individual TV deal. So, and the projection all looking good. So finances are great. We finished second. PSV won it by a canter. Look at that, 6 defeats. Top goal scorer was Van Hooydonk, Sydney. Broby and Seeloff round up the top 3. Average rating, Zeefuik. What did he get? And he got 13 goals. He was injured at the start of the season, so that's understandable. And probably having a number of loan players in didn't help. So yeah, that isn't ideal, but at least we're in the Champions League again. So let's have a look at competitions. Whoa! Okay, so we did win the Johan Cruyff Schaal. We finished runners-up in the Dutch Cup. We were knocked out in the playoff round again, this time against PSG. So we've had some great luck here. What do? We actually won 4 games this time, so that's best part 10 million with the draw. And we lost 3 to Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, and AC Milan. So did we beat anyone of any note? Porto was about the best. So in that aspect, not too bad. Feyenoord finished one place below us. Utrecht was in there as well. That was the three. Let's have a look at the knockout round. Leipzig beat Utrecht and Galatasaray beat Feyenoord. So I reckon if we'd played Galatasaray, I would have got through. But we've had two lousy draws in the Champions League. So yeah, not the greatest. Right, transfers. And at this point, I'll own up and say I jumped back in April to make sure we got the youth players. So early April comes around, youth players, you get the notification, and I've noticed in a previous save that I've done that if you don't jump in and sign them, they just disappear. So I've jumped in April to get them. At the same time, I also sold Taylor Booth and bought a couple of players so I could spend the Taylor Booth money. So transfer window then. Transfers. We loaned out a number of players. No one of any note. Okay, and we brought in a freebie. Okay, he's a youngster, and I did make a couple of naughty boy purchases, both on free transfers. Frederick Uranus and Kevin Danso were both available, and we just signed them. Hey, they weren't not in the rules. I had to come in to get the youth players, and I just had to nose who was available, and oh look, two players were available and instantly made us better. So I'm not ashamed or anything about that. He's not very good, obviously, old Frederick. But there we have it. Let's have a look. Goals-wise then, Z Fuick got the most goals with 21 across the season, 13 in the league. He also contributed 6 assists. Kostopoulos played far too often, 18 goals, 4 assists. Midfield maestro Asan Ouedraogo got 16 goals and 10 assists. Sabiri, 13 goals, 9 assists. Colombo, our secondary striker, was 10 goals, 6 assists. 12 assists from Cassius. Taylor Booth played 40-odd games. Well, we didn't have wingers. He's fallen down the pecking order somewhat, but there we go. All in all, not too bad. I don't think the budgets are out yet. Oh, yes, they are. So that happened on the 18th of May. So 475,000 a week, and we've got a £13 million budget. So we are in a far, far better position than we were last summer, where we had to sell just to clear off the transfer budget. We've got a chance now to actually push on, sign 2 or 3 really good players, and give ourselves that chance to get beyond the playoff round in the Champions League. Win Eredivison again. PSV, we're coming for you. And with that, we'll see you very shortly for whatever transfer shenanigans I get up to. Another tough transfer window. We're about to start the season again with PSV in the whatever it is, Charity Shield kind of thing. And as you can see, we've got £20 million left in the bank. We've got a little bit of a wage budget left. Projection doesn't look good in the following couple of years, but we're okay here. There might have been 1 or 2 more sponsors. Debts, look at that. That has been reversed. We're actually owed money. What a superstar I am. I've turned things around. Right, let's have a look at transfers then. So, back end of last year, we brought in a number of players. Bastien Mayapu, a young French centre-back. Next in through the door was Ivan Ilic, a freebie Serbian central midfielder. He was followed in by, if I can find them now, Jordi Makengo, a left back. Boy, did we need him. Nice. Nelson Viper has come in as sort of a backup striker slash inside forward on the left. Who was next? Esteval came in, the young Brazilian. He's going to be playing on the right-hand side. I would guess Reina has come in as a backup across the back front four. We've signed a young Dutchman. Right. Then players that went out, and there were a few. So Stav Lemkin went back to Israel for 3 million, rising to 4. Some youngsters were released. Taylor Booth's transfer went through, 27 million, with could rise to 34. Mohamed Al Arouche left for 2.1. Lorenzo Colombo left for 5.25. This one I didn't want to do. Denzo Cassius, his release fee was met for 22.5 million, so he departed. We then let Sabri go for 11 million. He followed Taylor Booth to Wolfsburg. Mauro Jr., the man we signed on a permanent deal, I've had him on loan. We then sold for 7 million because he wasn't part of my plans anymore. And then we let Tyshawn Van Gonter go out on loan again. We've not sold anyone else, which is a blessed relief. We brought in a young centre-back, Joel Porcelot, a Spanish right-back as sort of cover, Mark Pubil. Elise Logbo is our backup striker. Anson Duarte is our backup to pretty much everyone up front. And then we've just signed this guy who could play as a left winger or a left back. We don't know yet. The most important bit is we didn't lose Chotard. He was approaching his minimum release fee, so we offered him a new contract. He signed that. And Udrago, another one, 6 million was his release fee. There was some Saudi sniffing around, but they didn't come in with a formal offer that met his release fee. He then signed a new contract. Thank you very much. We're quite happy there. We've got a number of decent players. In the Eredivison, the bookies have us second favourites behind PSV at 9-4. We do have Danso, Serda, Orenz, Shotard, Odraga in the Dream 11. Serda, our centre back, quite useful for a £10 million minimum release fee. So we're quite happy with that. All in all, it's not too bad. Tactics wise, we are going with this formation this season. It's as simple as that. What I will do though is where's my new guy? What I'll do is set up some personalised instructions for players. Right, I'll get that done. We'll then hit simulation for the season. I'll come back in April, sign the youth players, and then we'll see how we end up at the end of the season. One bit of news, we've dropped below Turkey, so we no longer have guaranteed Champions League phase for second place. So it could be a blessing in disguise. We might then get into Europa League and win that, perhaps. It's an option. But we'll find out how we get on. We might actually win the league. You never know. We might overturn PSV this year. Here we go then. It's the penultimate. No, it's the last transfer session we're going to do. But first, we'll see how we got on. We have 18 million in the bank, 8.7 million in transfer budget, £826,000 a week in wage budget. We committed spending at 610. Currently spending 748. So it does sound as if we've got some players in. Projection doesn't look great. Doesn't look like there's any more whatever they're called, sponsors. And transfer debt is we're over 1.5 million. So all in all, not too bad there. We come second again. It wasn't to PSV. We overcame PSV and we finished a point behind Feyenoord. Oh, what we can see is Eduard Drago and Zifuk were our two top scorers. They're best two players in the league. Well, two of the three best players in the league. Esteval got 12 assists. Marvin Keller has done well in goal again, but it does look. Let's have a look at past positions. So we hit the top spot there. We're there for a few weeks there, and then dropped down a third and rescued it in April. Okay. A quick look at the schedule then. We'll do it this way. Atletico Madrid. Why? This is just ridiculous. We've got to the playoff round. 3 years on the trot. Ajax beat Liverpool. Ajax have been nothing in this, and yet they beat Liverpool. We've drawn Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, and now Atletico Madrid. So we finished 20th. We only had 3 wins this time. Benfica, Astana and Dinamo. We drew against Bayern and Real Madrid. But we lost to Roma, Monaco and Newcastle. Okay, there's some 3 big teams there. So it wasn't our best draw. Ajax finished above us. Where's the Turkish clubs? That's the important one. Any Turkish... Oh, PSV. Look at PSV. So Galatasaray did all right there. So unfortunately, they beat Napoli to go through there, which wasn't helpful. And in the round of 16, Newcastle knocked out Ajax. Arsenal knocked out Galatasaray. And PSV were knocked out by Madrid. Okay. Competitions-wise, we finished runners-up there. Knocked out in the third round by Ajax. Marvellous. Disappointing. Right, goals then. Zifuk got 28, 2 assists in 46. And Udrag, whatever his name is, our German midfielder, got 21 with 7 assists. Nelson Wiper finished the season with 14 goals and 6 assists. Let's have a look at his form. 2 goals there, 2 goals there, an assist there, as he's playing inside forward. You go back and he played some complete forward. So my plan was always to have him as somebody coming in off the left. But my assistant manager obviously didn't think that and changed things about. Esteval has come in, not done too badly. Average 7.2. In the Champions League, 7.18. In Eredivison, and doesn't look too bad. Not going to get him back. Srirachi, 12 assists. All in all, there's some good average rating, so we didn't play too badly as a team, but we're just not good enough. Hold on. Anthony Alanga, 64 grand a week. I'm not paying anything for Esteval. We got Pedro Nieto as well. Paying him 53 grand plus 60. What has that numpty done? Oh, my director of football. What have you done? Poor old Charlie Creswell, 1 game. Lack of rotation. Right, okay, we have 1 chance left. I'm guessing, let's have a look at the rules. Eredivison rules now. So we're in the Champions League path, third qualifying round. Yeah, I'm just thinking it's almost worth us losing in that, so we go into the Europa League and potentially having a better chance of winning that, because the finances haven't helped us. If we have a look at the income this season, Champions League, that's TV revenue, prize money. We got 38 million overall, whereas we had 42 last year. Champions League is 31. Oh, 31. It was 35 last year. So, yeah, it certainly helps the bottom line. Right, one last window it is. Let's see what I can do. Well, that has been the hardest transfer windows I've ever done. Trying to rush through, trying to find players, trying to get rid of players, having 6 weeks to do bits and pieces, and it has been a nightmare. But we have 23 million in the bank. We've got a transfer budget of 19 million. Projection isn't looking good. Sponsorship, don't really see much. We got a huge transfer debt. It would have been a whole lot more had one of the players that I dreamt about signed, but he never. Okay, transfers wise, then we did none there. We sold Reina, the Brazilian, for 4.5 million. Porcelot for 4.9. He's the youngster that we brought in on a cheap deal, but Liverpool stole him. And Elvis Youngman went out. He's just a nobody, really. We also got rid of Duarte, Hilgers, Makengo for 8.7, Nelson Wiper for 12.75, Sriracha for 11.25, Pubil for 2.3, Charlie Creswell 3.8, another 2.3 for Targalini. So we were basically clearing the debts, trying to bring the wage budget down as much as possible so we could bring players in. What we did do was bring in a right winger who isn't too bad, and he can play on both wings. Orsolini, another right winger who can play on both wings, and Jesse Johnson, a backup goalkeeper, all on frees. We then brought in a striker, Mateus Arizo. Doesn't look too bad, has a bit of potential, who knows. Tomiyasu, who we were looking at last year, is coming at right back. We then signed a really decent centre back in Penetra, 27 million. And our last person we brought in was this guy for Belosian, 41.5 million. $41.5 million. That doesn't sound right. I don't know. Perhaps it might be right. It's just been crazy. I've been trying to get a left winger in, and it just hasn't worked. In actual fact, I've just cancelled the deal. So I'm now leaving it up to my assistant manager to bring in players. We have not got a big enough squad. We have loads of holes in the squad. I failed. What more can I say? We also played Luzern in the third qualifying path for the Champions League. We've lost at home 2-1. Not good. But the season is starting soon. We're up against Heerenveen, and we are 10-3, third place with the bookies. Tomiyasu is in there. Penetra is in there. And that's... Oh, and our boy, the German, who is right up there. Tomiyasu, third best player. I don't believe that. Some of the players that I had last year were so much better. But there we have it. That is our team. Hopefully my director of football brings in a few bodies and gets things over the line. In actual fact, what I will do is make sure they have the ability to do that. Confirm that. And that is that. I will now run the simulation for the season. I'm not even going to stop in April. It is straight through. I don't care about the youth. We will be back at the end of the season. And here we go then, the final summer. 59 million in the bank. Looks like there's another... or is there? No, that might be the same. Projection doesn't look so good. Debts and loan. We've dropped our transfer debt down to 10.5 million, which isn't too bad. The transfer budget doesn't look too good for them. Minus 8.8 million. Rightio, competitions and Dutch Cups runners up. Oh, we've snuck the league. Look at that. 4 points separate the top three. 4, sorry. 6 from the top 5. And I've just seen we made it into the Champions League. Round of 16. Okay, so progress. Feyenoord were knocked out by Bayern there. So there was 2 there. Any Turkish clubs? No. Oh, didn't want to do that. Let's go knockout round. Feyenoord were... Oh, Feyenoord went through against Juventus. And finally, when we're not playing one of the biggest sides in Europe, we get through. So we beat Rennes. Turkish club Fenerbahce went out there. So that should improve the standing for the Dutch. Let's have a look at the league phase. 12th. 5 wins. Dortmund, Bilbao, Bayern, Salzburg and Prague. Bratislava was the draw, and we lost to Barca and Juventus. So all in all, look at that. Bayern topped the group and we beat them. Can't be bad at all. So we were the top Dutch club. Feyenoord also got in, and it was just the 2 of us. Besiktas were knocked out there. So did we actually play Besiktas? I didn't. We never. How about our friends at Feyenoord? Well, 3 defeats. They didn't either. So we didn't affect the Turkish rules. Let's see. Was there any coefficient? No. If there was, it's not showing there now. Onto the squad. No, in actual fact, let's have a look at transfers first. Because we obviously left them quite early. There were deals to be done, and what deals got done. So we brought in Alfonso Moriera. That's a lot of money for somebody not very good. Was that me? I don't remember. It might have been. He doesn't look too bad. Hugo Vletselen came in on a free. 40 grand a week. And then we loaned in a Swedish midfielder who doesn't look too bad at all. So that wasn't a bad bit of business. And we also brought in Beraldo. Different save. I was going to say Beraldo, I remember him. But yeah, he's come in on loan and not done too badly. Out the door then, back end. Did I let... I think that was in the pipeline. When did I actually... Let's have a look. PSV, last game of the season, drew 1-1. How important was that? When did we leave? Herenveen there on the 7th. So that was a transfer I was probably involved with. Bas Llewellyn, or Van Llewellyn. No, okay. So Frederick Urinsons, the Norwegian midfielder, went to Newcastle for 24 million. Bastien and Mayampu left to join Napoli for 19.5 million. So that was a nice bit of business. I'm not sure I'd have done that on deadline day. The Saudis took Zifuk for 7.25. That's disappointing. He had 3 goals in 6 games for us before he was sold. And then the last one to go was Daniel Kuhn, a young German midfielder. Came through the youth ranks, 275 to Breda. So he basically balanced the books, and yet we've got a negative transfer budget. Right, let's have a look at the squad and selection info. Very nice indeed. Look at that, 20 goals in 38 plus 10. So Geordie Ryder was one of the youth players that came through and has done brilliantly. 11 in 31 in the league, 7.10 progress. He had a massive uptick there. I didn't actually force him to be into the team, but he's obviously done very well there. Our German midfielder is still around and is wanted, so selling him to Madrid would clear the debt straight away. Then the left back that I brought in, who's also a centre back, I forced him to play left back. Doesn't look too bad. He's improved immeasurably and is almost worth his value there. Shotard is still around doing well. And then we go a bit further down. Matteo Arizio, he's probably benefited from Zifuk going. Not done too badly. £15.5 million purchase there. Who else got goals? Orsolini, my free transfer right winger. So he hasn't done too bad. Bakwa, 15 starts. And there we have it. This was a very tough. It was just so tough to get the transfers done. Let's have a look at the tactics. So this is the formation that I went with in the end. Tomiyasu has come in, played right back, not done too badly. £27.5 million this guy cost us. He's come in and done all right. And then we've seen Bolossian there. We did have Zifunk in there, but he's obviously been sold. So that was the formation we used in the end. I was worried about not having a left winger, so I basically went to 2 up top. And it didn't do too badly. Ajax, Juventus, there we go. A couple of defeats on the trot on a few occasions. So, for the most part, done quite nicely. March wasn't too great with just the 2 wins, but one of those was the Dutch Cup semi-final. Oh, look, we lost. Yeah, the Dutch Cup, we lost to Feyenoord in the final. I was expecting us to be in the Europa League. So to have our best run in the Champions League was quite a shock. But there we have it. Have we improved? 20, probably. It hasn't clicked round, but we finished at 12-5. Moraldo was in 2 players. So we basically had 2 players in the Dream 11 and won the league. So Ajax is the interesting one. Perhaps that's where. Oh, let's just go Eredivison. League table. We want to go stages, don't we? And then league table. So Ajax finished 4th there, 4th there, 3rd, 5th, and 4th. So perhaps I should have picked Ajax because they've done nothing. One of the biggest Dutch clubs. Feyenoord and PSV were the 2. That Feyenoord there, then PSV took over. PSV, 43,000 capacity. One of the, like I say, But if you look there, Feyenoord dropped all the way down, but qualified for the Europa League. They won the cup, didn't they? So there we have it. I don't know what to say other than that was very tough. And I don't know whether this was a successful save or not. Our ambition was to try and win something in Europe, but we were never backed in the transfer market. And look, 59 million, almost 60 million in the bank, negative. But there we go. Who knows? Was that a successful save? Let me know. Right. Thanks for watching. We'll be back soon. And I'm going to say it again, hopefully with FM26. Until then, ta-da.